Okay, come sit with me for a second because I need to talk about something that I know a lot of us do, and we act like it's normal. We apologize for our prices. Like we'll say a number and then immediately start explaining, or we'll say a number and then we'll soften it, or we'll say a number and then we'll discount before the person even reacts. And I'm saying we on purpose because I did this for years. And this is something that cost me. It cost me not just money, it cost me my peace. So today, I'm not coming with a lecture. I'm coming like a friend who's like, girl, we need to stop doing this because if you are undercharging and you're exhausted, it is not because you're doing it wrong. It's because the math is simply wrong. And we can fix that. Let me describe first what undercharging actually feels like. It feels like saying yes. And then right after you say yes, your stomach drops. Like you agree to the project. And then 2 days later, you're like, wait, why did I say yes to this? And you're halfway through, or you're halfway through and you're thinking, wow, I'm doing all this for that. And I want to be honest, this is the part that people don't say out loud because when your price is too low, you really start resenting the work. And you don't even want to resent it because you want to be proud. You want to enjoy what you do, but you cannot enjoy something that you feel trapped inside. And then you start having this internal fight like, hey, maybe I should be grateful. At least I have a client. But then there is this other part of you that is like, yeah, I'm drained. And this is not sustainable. If you've been there, you know exactly what I mean. And I remember one time I was on a call with someone on a Zoom call, and then they asked me the price. I just gave them a number. But the second I said that number, I felt that pit in my stomach because it was like my body was like, hmm. And you know what's crazy? It wasn't that I didn't know better. I knew better. I knew what people charge for this. And I even knew the low range and the high range. So I knew what it takes to also implement the project. But I still gave a low number because in that moment, I just wanted the yes. I wanted the, okay, let's do it. I wanted to feel chosen. So that's what it was. And that's why I am talking about this like a friend, because I know what it feels like to want the client so bad that you start negotiating with yourself. You start telling yourself, it won't be that bad. You start telling yourself, you know what? I'll do it faster than usual. It's okay. I'll just push harder. And then 2 weeks later, you are still working on it. It's not how you expected it was going to go. But now, on top of that, you're irritated, not at them, but you're irritated at yourself because you knew your intuition told you the moment you said yes to that lower price. Let's be real, guys. There are reasons that we do this because sometimes you undercharge because you're new to this and you're trying to get clients. And sometimes you undercharge because you just want proof that you can do a good work. And sometimes you undercharge because you want that testimonial, you want that rave review. And sometimes you undercharge because you're in a tight season in your life and you're trying to make things work. And then there is this other layer for us immigrants is the cultural layer, the be agreeable layer, the don't ask for too much layer, the make it work layer. And if you're Haitian, if you're Caribbean, or if you are an immigrant woman, you already know. And a lot of us, we are raised to be polite. We are raised to not be too much, to not make people uncomfortable. So when it's time to name a price, we do this weird thing where we try to make it easy for the other person. And then we forget that we have to live with that number, not them, us. So let me tell you something that freed me. Low prices, they don't automatically attract nice clients. Sometimes low price attracts clients who want the most for the least. And it's not because they're evil, but it's because your price is giving the deal sign. So they come expecting a deal. And then you're shocked when they act like it is really a deal. And sometimes they even want fast replies. They want extra things. They want you to be available when you clearly said that you were not going to be available. They want you to keep tweaking things, scope creep. And meanwhile, your price doesn't even cover the time that you're spending on that project. So now you feel like you're working for free. And then you get resentful. And resentment is something that can get very heavy. It makes you dread your own business. It makes you not want to open your laptop. It makes you not want to respond. And then you start thinking that you hate your work, but it's not your work. It's the actual container. This is the habit that I had to break. Someone would say to me, you know what, Webley, that's not in my budget. And then I would immediately go into discount mode. I would not even pause. I would not even take a breath. It's just like, why don't you tell me what your budget is? Or, okay, I can remove this and then do this and then keep the price lower. Or, okay, I'll throw in a couple of more in your project and I'll do those other things for free. And then later I'm like, why am I doing that? Because if a person cannot afford it, then that doesn't make them wrong. It doesn't make me wrong. It just means that we're not a match. That's it. But if you are playing small, you take what they said not in my budget like it's a rejection, and then you start proving yourself. And another sign that you're apologizing for your prices is when you're over explaining. You start acting like you're in a courtroom. You start doing the math for them. Like you said, hey, all you need is one client to make this investment back. Or, you know what? If I build this for you, you'll make your money back. You are trying to convince them to see the value. And here's what I learned: if someone is not your client, no amount of explaining will make them your client. All it does, it makes you tired and then it makes you look unsure. And people do not like buying from people who look unsure. So they like buying from calm, they like buying from clear, they like buying from, hey, this is the price. Now let's talk about what undercharging does outside of the business, because this part really matters. It's like a domino effect. Because when you undercharge, you have to work more to compensate for that. You have to get more clients. You have to do more projects. You have to, send more messages. You have to do more juggling. And then you don't have time for your own stuff. You don't have time to rest. You don't have time to eat well. You don't have time to think. And that's when your business starts to feel to you like a trap. And your relationships, they feel it too, because you're physically there, but mentally, you're still working. Sometimes you're short with people around you and you're drained all the time. You're trying to recover and you keep telling yourself, you keep trying to convince yourself that this is something that's temporary. But what you think is temporary, it turns into years if you don't change your price. So this is where I really had to get honest with myself. And then I stopped guessing. I just did the math. And I asked myself, what do I need per month? Or what do I want per month? And then how many clients would I need at my current price to get that? And when you do that, the truth will either calm you or it will scare you, because you might see at your current price, you need 20 clients a month. And you're like, no, 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 no. That's not happening and that's not sustainable. Or it might be possible, but this is something that would destroy your life. So when you're forced to face the truth, you see that you're not pricing for sustainability. You're pricing for easy yes. And easy yes does not pay the bills. It just keeps you busy and resentful. Okay. So another thing is that when I started treating my business like a real business, pricing got very clear to me, because I stopped thinking like, what can they afford? And I started thinking like, what does this work actually cost me to deliver it? because it's not just the task when you look at it. There's the thinking, there's the planning, there's the revisions that you're doing, there's the back and forth, there's the messages, the time it takes you to switch your brain. There's one project to another, and this is actually a real labor. And if you do not price for that, you will always feel like you're doing too much because you are. And I had to do an upgrade, a lot of upgrade, but here's my favorite upgrade. Now, when someone says, Webley, I appreciate your time, but this is not in my budget, I just bless them and release them. There's no spiraling, there's no proving anything, there's no trying to do the math for them, there's no discount reflect. I just totally understand because I am not fighting for clients who cannot afford me, because I'm building a business for people who can afford me. And I'm not saying that in a snobby way. I'm saying that in a very peaceful way because I want to like my work. I want to be proud of my work. I do not want to dread my work. Okay. And this is something that applies to everything, by the way. For instance, let's say you're a cake maker, okay? And people love your cakes, when but they want to pay you like this is a hobby for you. And then you say yes, but here you are, you're up at 2 a.m., you're baking, you're decorating, you're delivering for a price that doesn't even cover your stress. So now you hate baking, not because you hate baking, but because you hate being underpaid. So that's what happens. So when you raise your price, you are not being mean. You're just respecting your work. So, yeah, stop apologizing for your prices. Apologize instead for playing small, because playing small, it costs too much. It costs money, yes, but it also costs you your peace. And I want you to have your peace. So I'm going to wrap with this question for you. Where where are you still discounting yourself? And where are you still making it easy for people to access you and hard for you to breathe? So drop the answer in the comments. And if you've been there, you know exactly what I mean. All right. All right, this was day 62. I'm Webley. I show up here daily, imperfect on purpose. So, Black women, especially Black immigrant women, they see proof that you can start ugly, skip the tech drama, and build your next stream of income online. If this was helpful to you, remember to hit subscribe, and I will be back tomorrow. Bye.